My name is Malinda Ecarius. I'm a professor of practice with the Department of Communication Disorders and Special Education, and I direct the Deaf Education Teacher Training Program at the Barclay Center. Our entire program is online, so I have to have access to Blackboard for all my students for every class. In fact, practically the entire special education program is available through distance learning. Most of our students are non-traditional students. They tend to be already practicing teachers. They may or may not have any experience with deaf students or access to deaf students. Many of them live in rural areas. Not all of them have access to broadband technology. We do have minimum requirements for technological availability, but a number of our students in rural Kentucky or on North Dakota Indian reservations are not able to access, even through dial-up, to the extent that allows them to watch our videos or to participate in Adobe Connect meetings. So we've had to find our way around that. Another challenge that we have is that a number of my students are deaf themselves. For telephone conferences or telephone connections with Adobe Connect, we can use, for my American Sign Language users, video phone technology. So we can't necessarily use the audio from Adobe Connect, but if we use a phone bridge along with the visuals, then the video phone operator can call in to our phone bridge and then sign to the student. The problem with that is that many adult deaf today use cochlear implants or were raised orally or were hard of hearing and lost their hearing. They don't sign, which means that the video phone option is not available for them. So we are still trying to identify software that will adequately close caption both our videos and our on-site meetings. I have a lot of trouble learning new technology myself. I'm fully in sympathy with my students. I'm nearing the end of my career. I didn't grow up with this either. I've tried to stay on top of everything that comes out, but I find I have to tackle one thing at a time. And I have to make the point at which the student interfaces with Blackboard and the materials that I'm using very, very simple. We do have tutorial videos and access to the help desk for students who are running into difficulties, but many of my students are in their 30s, 40s, or 50s. They didn't grow up with the technology, and in order to learn, I need to be sure that most of their cognitive space isn't being spent on trying to figure out the technology. So I may use PowerPoints and narrated PowerPoints and Jing or other technologies, but what I post for them needs to be a PDF or a document or something they can click on and see a movie. If I make it much more complicated than that, I'm going to lose a lot of the learning power of my students.